Hello, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Yasmin and today I'll be talking you through a yoga sequence for the whole body with a little bit of a focus on upper back, chest and arms. If you have something that you can use to elevate your chest, that would come in really useful, so maybe a foam roller or a yoga block, and then make your way over to the mat and we'll get started. Okay, so when you're ready, let's start seated. Think about maybe crossing the legs if that's comfortable. Let the feet fall independently rather than crossed underneath, and then sit nice and tall through the spine. Relax the shoulders down the back and just gently start to take some half circles through the head, allowing the chin to rest down towards the chest and the ear to float all the way across to the shoulder. And we'll just stay here for a moment, checking in with the neck, noticing the length in the spine, and then gradually easing the head all the way back to still, finding a nice neutral length through the neck. Stretch those arms out wide, flip the palms, take a breath in as you reach your hands up overhead, and then as you breathe out, press the hands to the heart, create resistance on the way down. Let's do that just once more. So you breathe in, press up, and you breathe out. This time stretch out nice and wide. You're going to reach those arms as far back as you can, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Now when you're at the back, flip the palms to face each other, interlace the fingers and squeeze shoulder blades. So you're thinking about broadening across the front of the chest. Notice the length in your spine here, so if you tend to arch the chest, pull the tailbone down, pull the ribs in, so that you're able to intensify the stretch across the upper back, across the shoulders, across the front of the chest, and then release. Relax those hands all the way down, give the shoulders a roll, and again, just check in with the neck. We're going to come over onto all fours, so if you think about taking your way, fingers under shoulders, knees under hips, nice straight line through the spine. And we'll work through cat-cow. So as you inhale, try round up through the spine, arch the back, chin tucks in towards the chest. And as you exhale, soften the elbows, lift the gaze, rising all the way up. On the inhale, round the spine, arch the upper back. And as you exhale, elbows soften, chest forward. Let's take one more set, inhaling to round all the way up the spine. And exhale, chest forward. Okay, bring your spine all the way back to neutral. And then from where you are, flip your fingers around so that the fingers point to face you. Now this makes cat-cow a little bit stronger. You should feel it through the forearms, but just bear in mind it's optional. So if it's feeling too strong, you can always swivel those fingers back to face forward. Inhale, try round up through the spine. Tuck the tail, ease your way up. And then exhale, lengthen. Lift the gaze, lift the chest. Inhale, round. And exhale. Last set, inhale, round the spine. And exhale, chest. Unravel your fingers. Lengthen your spine. Glide those hands so much further forward, as far forward as you can without dropping the elbows onto the ground. And then maybe let the forehead rest all the way down. If you can make contact with the floor with the forehead, gently roll the head from side to side. If the head's slightly lifted, just pause where you are. Keep pressing through the palms, press back, belly towards thigh, and then gently make your way to center. Ease the hands in, find all fours, spread the fingers, knees under hips. Inhale, reach your right hand all the way up, let's draw a circle. Exhale, complete the circle. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw down. Last one, inhale and exhale. Now just a half circle this time, so you inhale, reach that hand nice and high, look towards the top, and as you exhale, thread the needle. You're going to take the arm all the way under, place the cheek and the shoulder onto the ground. Think about the hips staying high. Think about the head resting here, and maybe that left arm extends forward. Now if you do extend, you're thinking about the head being under the left arm. And then one final option from where you are, to take a bind. So you can reach your left hand all the way up and across towards the right thigh. Now it might touch, it might not, but the process is to open that left shoulder towards the ceiling. And then gently unravel, uncurl, float forward, ease your way out, check in, have a wiggle, and then let's take the same stretch on the second side. Inhale, left shoulder reaches up and open. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Now for the half, inhale, reaching up, exhale to thread. Take it through, left cheek, left shoulder, rest down on the ground. Now the further the shoulder comes through, the stronger the stretch is going to be, so just bear that in mind. Hips stay high, maybe that right arm extends forward. If so, head is underneath right arm. Pause it there. And then option to float that right hand all the way up towards the ceiling and think about taking grip of the left thigh. Again, the option there is to try and press that right shoulder back to open across the chest. And release. Unravel. This time take it to child's pose, so nice and soft. Ease your way up. Maybe take those knees wide so that your bum can press back towards your heels and your belly can rest in between. The hands glide further forward, the head rests all the way down towards the ground. And then just the same as you did in your puppy pose, maybe the head can roll from side to side. Massage your brow. And then ease yourselves back to center. Lift your chest up by walking your hands in. And we're going to come all the way over onto our bum. So you sweep those legs forward. Now if you do have something to elevate your chest, like a foam roller or a block, now is a really useful time to go grab that. And then we're going to come down so that we've got the feet maybe 2 foot ahead of the bum. We're grounded down through the sit bones and we're going to go fingers pointing towards the bum. Now go quite close first of all. We're going to think about finding length through the spine, squeezing the shoulder blades in towards each other, and then pressing and lifting the chest. Hopefully feeling quite supported here. Maybe the gaze rises all the way up towards the ceiling. So starting here to open out across the pec, across the chest. Soft bend through the upper back. One more breath. And then nice and slowly release. We're going to switch your fingers so that now the fingers point away from the bum, and we're going to walk the hands much further away. So you can tuck the tailbone, let your body relax for just a sec, get yourself set up. So now there's a much bigger distance between my bum and my hands, and my fingers are pointing away. I'm going to start to initiate a stretch by drawing my chest back up towards the ceiling, pressing through the front of my chest, maybe lifting my gaze. Hold it there. Pause and breathe. And then nice and slowly unravel. Ease your way forward, lift yourselves up. Give those wrists a roll. And then bring yourselves over onto all fours. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, stretch out using the blocks or the foam roller. I want you to get those set up just to one side. We're going to do one arm at a time. So I've got 2 blocks here just for a little bit more height. You could get a stretch from one block, or you could even come onto a slightly higher setting. But I like a slightly stronger stretch, which is why I've done 2 on top of each other. Okay, and all we're going to think about doing is bending and placing the elbow down on the block, the hand resting back towards the shoulder, and then we're going to get that second hand involved and just hug around the back of the shoulder blades and actively sink down. So pause it there, sinking into the stretch. You decide how far is low enough to go. And then nice and slowly, let's rise up, release, lift, and take it across to the second side. Same thing, elbow goes on, set yourselves up, hand rests towards the back, get the hand involved, try find the flesh in the shoulder blade, and sink it down. rise up. And we're going to do one more with the prop, so we may as well go ahead and get that done now. Flip yourselves over, come back onto your bum. We're going to set your lifted prop underneath your shoulder blades so that it gives you a nice arch through the spine. So just adjust as much as you need to find a comfortable-ish placement around the shoulder blades. And then we're going to take our time getting comfortable here. So we'll go feet hip distance, grounded down through the bum, maybe interlacing the fingers and holding onto the back of the head. So you can keep the head lifted, and this will be quite a soft chest opening, and then hopefully gradually you start to relax and you're able to lower the head, lower the shoulders, ease your way down towards the ground. You maybe touch the ground, maybe not, depending on the height of your prop and the flexibility in your back. And we're just going to hold it there. We're going to tune into the breath. We're going to start to slow everything down. Let's go 2 more breaths. And then nice and slowly, using your core, lift yourself up, uncurl, and have a little check-in, head, neck, shoulders. And we're going to come up to a stand or forward fold. So if you just move your bits and bobs out of the way, and then step your feet nice and wide, bring your weight forward, have the feet as wide as the mat here, knees stay soft, and then relax the head down. So you're in a soft forward fold, the belly rests down in between the thighs, the head is heavy, and just gently try to turn your head from side to side. And then nice and slowly the head comes back to still. Maybe the legs straighten just a tiny touch, but at the same time, still feel the belly resting down on the thighs, so maybe they don't straighten too much. And then rebending, release the hands, uncurl, come all the way up. Take your time, no rush. When you eventually reach the top, check in with your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then shuffle the feet to hip distance. Open at the palms, draw the shoulders down the back, take a deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. When you're ready, bend through the knees, breathing in, sweep the hands up high, and then hands to heart, exhale as you forward fold. We're going to bring it all the way down towards the ground. And let's see if we can go arms wide this time. Inhale, reach those hands wide, bend through the knees, lifting up. Exhale, hands to heart, bend as you fold. One more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend and fold. Now this time when you're down there, relax your hands, relax your head. Bend more deeply through your knees. We're going to think about placing the fingers underneath the toes. Let's see how far we can get the fingers. So ideally try to get the toes up towards the crease in the wrists. The knees can stay bent, the feet stay hip distance, the head relaxes down. And then the option is there for those of you that want to make this stronger to work on lengthening through the legs. So we're just allowing the upper body to completely relax here, creating a flex through the foot. Thinking about the belly resting down towards the thigh. Head fully heavy. And then when you're ready, soften through the knee, release those hands. Keep the knees deeply bent. We're going to take your left hand and place it across and underneath the side of the right foot. Now the knees can stay bent, and if you wanted to intensify this shoulder stretch, you could start to think about lifting to a straight spine. So the knees stay soft. Option is there to extend, but I find more of a stretch if I work on flattening my back. And then if that feels okay, option to take a rotation, so you could go hand onto the hip. Think about that flat back as you rotate just very slightly. And release, soften, fold it down. Let's take the same on the second side. So now you're thinking about the right hand coming under the outside edge of that left foot. Knees are bent, And we want to try and lengthen. Maybe staying there, maybe adding the rotation. And release. Unhook. Okay, nice and gently bring it up to a stand, uncurl. And then bring the hands to the heart. Take your weight to the right foot. We're going to bring your left knee all the way up towards your chest. And try to find our balance. Squeeze the thigh in towards you, long through the spine. And then from where you are, start to extend the knee out to the side. So we're thinking about finding a rotation as the hip opens. Stay balanced and then bring the hip back. Taking the knee out to the side, stay balanced, and then bring the knee back. One more, take it out to the side, and then bring it back. Float the leg down, give those heels a pad. Okay, let's try the second side. Spread the toes, lengthen the spine. Taking the weight to the second side, bring the knee up. Find your balance, long spine. And then opening at the hip, extend the knee out to the side. Try your hardest not to hitch the knee up or the hip up. So you want to stay nice and level. Bring it forward, bring it back. One more, stay balanced. And then float the leg down, give the heels a pad. Okay, let's come into our standing sequence. So somewhere near the top of the mat, bend through the knees. Breathing in as you reach those hands up nice and high. Breathing out as you forward fold, float all the way down, knees can be bent. Let's add in a halfway lift, so as you inhale, try lengthen your back, try lengthen your legs. Think about extending all the way down the back, all the way down the legs. Maybe the hands are on the floor, maybe the hands are on the shin. And then soften through the knees, float those hands back down to the ground. As you inhale, step or hop, take it to plank. And as you exhale, downward dog. The hips go high, the heels draw down. And then let's find movement here. So we inhale, float forward, find plank. Exhale, downward dog, take it back. Inhale, float. Exhale, press. Now this time in your downward dog, shorten your dog just a touch. Feet come further forward, feet stay hip distance. Knees bend, we're on the balls of the feet, belly presses back towards the thighs. Really find that extension through the arms, through the shoulders as you press belly back. And then nice and slowly, think about shifting your gaze towards your hands, bending through your knees, inhale, step or hop, feet to meet the hands. Breathing out as you fold, head is down, knees can be soft. Inhale, sweep the arms, lift the chest, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Now step your feet as wide as your mat, soften through your knees, release the hands, and take yourselves for a sway. Sway from side to side. Find a rotation that's comfortable for you. Maybe the gaze goes over the shoulder. And then gently bring yourselves all the way back to still. Shuffle the feet slightly closer together, hip distance. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Let's go hands to heart again. Weight to the right leg. We're going to inhale, lift your left. And as you exhale, extend, flex the foot. Might be lower, that's fine. Inhale, rebend. And then exhale, warrior three. Stretch that leg out behind. Now I want you to hold it there. Square up the hips. So if that left hip's much higher, bring it down. Bend deeply through the right leg. Place the ball of the left foot to the ground and then lift the arms, lift the chest, rise up. So we're in a high lunge now. Take a moment to adjust. If you're feeling super wobbly, maybe the feet come across the mat more. Deep bend through the front leg, nice and straight through the back leg. Notice your posture. So maybe now is the time to bend. Take the tailbone down, straighten out through the spine, and then re-extend the back leg. Add the arms if you've lost them. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, float the shoulders back and down, nice and wide, palms open. Same again, inhale, rise up, palms face each other. And palms out as you exhale, sweep it back and down. Last one, inhale, arms rise up. And exhale, float those arms. Now interlace, fingers come together at the bum, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, and then lift the chest, lift the gaze. Pause and breathe, nice and straight through that back leg. And then from where you are, nice and slowly, release the hands. Float your left heel down so that you're in a warrior two type position, and then adjust the rest of your body to join. So think about those heels being in line. If you went wider to help you stabilize, now's the time to adjust. Nice deep bend through the right leg, dead straight through the left. Spine is long, gaze looks over the right hand. And then when you're ready, nice and slow, straighten through the right leg, take a breath in. Take a breath out as you reach forward. Take a breath in, floating that hand down, hand rests on thigh or shin. And take a breath out, reach the left hand high. Now I want you to feel supported in this side of the waist, so rather than resting down, extend, feel long. Hold it there. Tune into your breath, your balance. And then shift your gaze, look all the way down towards the right foot. We're going to bend the right knee and soften right hand towards the ground. If that's too far, rest the forearm on the thigh. In either case, keep that gaze downwards. Keep the spine nice and long. And then gently float the left hand, place it all the way down to the ground. We're going to come onto the ball of the back foot and then step it back to plank. When you're ready, lower the knees, walk yourself back to child's pose. Knees could be wide, knees could be together, forehead rests down towards the ground. Now just take a moment here, slow the breath. Think about breathing into the ribcage, into the upper back. Think about maybe turning the head from side to side. And then from where you are, lift your chest just a touch, walk those hands in. Now make sure the knees are wide, so if they're together, give yourself some space. And we'll find a side stretch, so we walk the hands all the way across to one side. And then allow the head to drop back down in between the shoulders. And then nice and slow, bring yourselves all the way back through center and across to the second side. And then nice and gently, ease yourselves back, ease yourselves up onto all fours, tuck toes, look towards those hands, lift to downward facing. Shift your gaze, soften your knees. Inhale, step or hop, feet to meet the hands. Exhale to fold, head is heavy. Inhale, sweep up, lift the arms, lift the chest. And then exhale, hands to heart. Spread your toes, find your balance, adjust as much as you need. Now this time the weight's going to come to the left. We're going to think about bringing that right knee up towards the chest. Long spine, take a breath in. Take a breath out, extend, flex the foot. Take a breath in. Take a breath out, warrior three. We extend that leg all the way out behind. Now hold it there. Maybe sink lower. Start to bend deeply through the left leg and then float the ball of the right foot all the way to the ground. Find your balance, option to go wider through the feet. Bring the arms, lift the chest, rise up. Nice deep bend through the left leg, straight through the right. Notice your spine. If, like before, that spine is curled or arched, rebend the back knee, draw the tailbone down and extend. Tune into your breath, re-extend those arms. Slightly different with the arms this time. Take a breath in and then cactus those arms as you breathe out. So press the shoulder blades in towards each other as you open. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, cactus, elbows bend. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, last one. This time, squeeze the shoulder blades even closer towards each other, the elbows hugging in towards your body, and then interlace. Open across the front of the chest, maybe lift the gaze. Nice and straight through the back leg, deep bend through the front leg. And then when you're ready, nice and slowly float the right heel down, adjust the feet so that they're in line, and open those arms out, warrior two. Set yourselves up, adjust as much as you need. Nice deep bend through the left leg, straight through the right. Gazes over that left hand. One more breath. When you're ready, inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, left hand floats down. And then exhale, right reaches up. Now, rather than going as low as you can, but really not using this side of the body, I want you to think about height, stability on both sides. Maybe the arm reaches up, maybe the gaze reaches up. And then eventually float the gaze down, either floating the hand to the ground or resting the forearm on the thigh. We bend through the left knee and find our variation. Hold it there, pause and breathe. And then when you're ready, both hands float down to the ground, regardless of where you were before. Come onto the ball of the back foot and step it to plank. Find your balance, pull your belly in, press your heels away. One more breath. And then downward dog. The hips go high, the heels press down. Maybe adjust if the feet are too far, too close. See if you can soften through the head, through the neck. See if you can press the belly any closer back towards those thighs. And then when you're ready, shift your gaze towards your hands. Soften through your knees. Inhale, step or hop, feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold, head is heavy. Inhale, sweep up, lift the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, hands to heart. And then step it wide. Soften the knees, release the hands, go for that twist again. Find your rotation. Slow the breath right down. And then nice and gently coming all the way back to still. Now let's think about keeping those feet as wide as they are. Maybe turn the toes out to the side. Start to bend through the knees. We're encouraging the hips to open here. You decide how low is comfortable for you. The goal is to sink all the way down and open up the hips, pressing the knees out nice and wide. No pressure though, if that's too much, feel free to hold a little bit higher. And then from either of those poses, we're going to think about lifting the chest. So even if the bum is out the back, long through the spine. Hold it there. Hips are open. Spine is long. And then we're going to add a little bit of a side stretch. So I want you to reach right hand down towards the ground, left hand up towards the ceiling. Same goes if you're high, same thing. And then even out. Same thing, second side, reaching nice and wide. Try to get the shoulder in front of the knee. And then open. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Same thing if you're higher. Float down. Come onto your bum. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let those knees fall out nice and wide. And then just have a little wiggle, a shuffle through the hips. Gradually draw the knees back in together. Straighten out your right leg. Flex through your right foot. And then we're going to take a twist. So let's get a bit of stability here. Stepping the foot across to the other side. Now if that doesn't work for you, if that's too much, foot can stay put where it was. If it's okay across, then we'll ground it down there. Keep the bum grounded, nice and even on both sides. Stretch those arms out wide. Flip your right palm. Inhale, hand comes up and over. And then as you exhale, take the rotation across your chest. Now just make sure the spine's still long. The breath is all the way up to the top of the chest. And your spare hand can float further behind. Find a deeper rotation by pressing through the forearm and shifting your gaze towards the back shoulder. Let's hold it there, one more breath. And then gently uncurl And let's just take a counter twist. So think about hugging onto the leg, spine long, rotating and shifting your gaze towards that right shoulder. And then anchor. Let's even you out. Let's do the same on the second side. Stepping the foot, maybe over the top, maybe not. Bum stays grounded. Let's go for a rotation, arms are wide. Flip the palm, take a breath in. Take it across as you breathe out. Now lengthen, maybe think about rotating further, maybe shifting your gaze towards that back shoulder. Pause and breathe. And then just gently bring yourselves forward, hugging, elbow hugs around the knee, rotate, counter twist, a little bit softer this time, shifting your gaze towards back shoulder. And release. Turn forward, lengthen the legs, give the ankles a wriggle, and then ease your way down onto the back. Place the feet down, come all the way to the floor. Flatten yourselves to the ground. Maybe press your lower back into the ground for just a moment so you feel that straight line all the way down the spine. And then release that pressure so that the spine comes to its natural curve. We're going to turn onto our side. Let's try stack our knees, stack our hips, and stack our shoulders, palms to touch. So the head can just rest down. And then from where you are, whichever hand is on top, we're going to try and draw a line with the finger all the way overhead, and the goal is to try and keep that hand grounded. So rather than up in the air, see how close to the ground you can keep the hand. Depends on the tightness in the shoulder here, so just bear that in mind, no pressure. We're trying our hardest to keep close to the ground, and eventually we find a T-like shape with the arms. Both arms are down, out wide, in line with the shoulders, and maybe the gaze turns to the left. And then let's bring it back. Trace the fingers all the way overhead. Try to keep contact with that ground. Nice and slow. And then palm stack. We're going to do the same on the second side. So you guys can just turn over. And then when you're ready, think about drawing that circle. Take it all the way overhead. Try to keep the contact with the ground. Find that T-like shape. Pause it there. Maybe the gaze shifts to the opposite direction of the knees. Shoulders grounded, breath nice and calm. And then bring it all the way back. Try to keep the contact with the ground as much as possible. Pause it there. And then nice and slowly, ease your way up to a sit. Seated however is comfortable for you. Draw the shoulders down the back. Maybe a few half circles through the head, just as we did at the beginning. And then bring yourselves back to still. Thank you ever so much for giving that a go. Have a lovely day. Namaste.